Hi there friends, I am just going to jump into this week's video. I am using the Farmhouse Christmas bundle. In love with the sentiments and that truck. Not so crazy about the rest of it, but there are two thinlits in this suite that are to die for, and they are both stitched. So there's this gorgeous one that coordinates with the happy Christmas wishes. And then this one, which just kind of banners the Merry Christmas in that stamp, which has been used quite a bit with cherry cobbler ink, so will never be the same. If you haven't seen one of my videos or you haven't seen me prepare one of my stamp sets, this is what I do. I just wanted to turn that off so you don't keep getting that glare. So when I get a stamp set, it comes like this. Obviously I take off that top piece and then I put a magnetic sheet in there and I attach my thinlits that way. And then I also print out, I've done them in Photoshop, now we're getting glare on both sides, and it just says the colors, the coordinating colors of the DSP, and the ones in this suite are gorgeous. Basic black, cherry cobbler, gray granite, mossy meadow, and very vanilla. So without further ado, let's get to coloring. I will turn this light back on. So I have done a couple of different techniques. Watercolor pencils for both of these. This one I used my aqua painter with just water, and this one I used a blender pen. Now, in all honesty, I did go over this one again with the pencils without blending it in. It was okay, not my favorite. This one is an aqua painter with ink, so when you take the ink pads and just squeeze them together, you get that little bit of ink on the surface, and you just use an aqua painter to paint that. So that was the second one that I did, and my favorite so far is with the blends, and that's cherry cobbler and I want to say shaded spruce, a little bit of pool party in the window, and some smoky slate. So my order just arrived today, and with my second half price item, maybe this is the first, I ordered the many marvelous markers. Now I did have the marker set that I found used, and it was only $20, but I spent another $20 to get some replacement nibs, but most of them were retired colors, so I splurged and got the current ones. There is room for 7 in colors in here. I'm not quite sure why, because each pack of in colors is 5. So I will continue to keep mine in the little plastic case that they come in. But they arrived today, so I figured I would hold off recording this video so that I could use the Stampin' Up markers. Now, I have colored with them before, but I haven't done something like this. It's just been kind of a little bit here, a little bit there. One of my favorite cards using the Stampin' Up markers is this one, and that was marker to stamp and then onto the watercolor paper. So I do love me some Stampin' Up markers. These markers are water-based, whereas the Stampin' Blends are alcohol, so they are very different looking markers because you wouldn't want to get them confused. Now you can use the same Memento ink with the Stampin' Up markers. I'm going to, actually this is shaded spruce. I'm also going to grab the garden green, and we're gonna do kind of a mixed bag here. It is important to store your Stampin' Blends and your Stampin' Up markers on their sides because they are both dual tipped. You don't want to have the ink settling at one end or the other, so store them on their sides. There, that adds a little more interest, and because these are so juicy, I'm getting quite the glare, so trying to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to use real red, not going to do any kind of shading. This is going to be straight coloring. And you can see, like the Stampin' Blends, they have a brush tip and a fine tip. So you can use whichever end you'd like. When you have a bigger surface to color, obviously the brush tip is going to be better. Smaller detailed areas, the other end will be better. The other end is also great for actually writing, hence the right. Okay, so if you would like to vote below, tell me which was your favorite technique. Obviously you didn't see me do them all, but Stampin' Write markers, Stampin' Blends, painting with ink with an aqua painter, watercolor pencils with the aqua painter or the blender pen. Tell me which one is your favorite. I would love to know. I myself am torn between these two. I love the Stampin' Blends, but I mean, this took no time at all and was super fun. So before I got started, I just did a buffalo check background and again used my Stampin' Write markers to create some more lines. Obviously these are the brush tip end and that is the finer tip end. Just going to take some glue dots, pop them on the back. This burlap ribbon has been quite popular. There are a few things in the holiday catalog that have been super popular and are no longer orderable or on very low inventory. So if there's anything you have been wanting, make sure you get it before it's too late. Okay, now we will... I hadn't really given too much thought to how I was going to mount this, so I think I will use the Thinlet because I haven't used it yet. Bring the Big Shot in. Whoops, got some rogue tissue paper here. I'm gonna cut both of these out. I'll use this for something. So just lay it on there. Make sure I'm well within the shot here. And I've got my magnetic plate on, in case you're wondering. Just run that. Whoopsie. I'll tear this excess off because it's going to shift everything on me. There's one, here's number two. So when this video goes live, the online extravaganza will have started, and the online extravaganza is 10% off of most annual catalog items. But the catch this year is that different items are on sale on different days. So on Friday, November 23rd, and Saturday, November 24th, there are, I should have checked before I started recording. If you check my Facebook page, it will tell you what is what. Like, I'm pretty sure it's ink and stamp pads and those types of things on the 23rd and 24th, and then the next day will be stamps and kits, and then the day after that is embellishments and accessories. So, but double check, because off the top of my head I am not positive at all. We're just going to glue that down. We've got the height of the ribbon and the dimensionals, so I don't want to have this where it can't be sent in the mail. Just hold that down for a moment. I'm gonna grab one more glue dot for the middle here. A little too loosey-goosey. Okay, now what we will do is we will use one dimensional on either end of this. And then we will just do a run of Tombow in the middle to adhere to that ribbon. And I know I said I didn't want any extra height, but if I don't put those dimensionals on the top and bottom, it's going to kind of sag because of the height of that ribbon. So that's it, my friends. Put a little greeting in here, I think. I tend to neglect the inside. And if I neglect the inside, I definitely neglect the envelope. So that said, happy Christmas wishes. Let's use this little one that I can't read upside down. Thoughts of happiness and joy to you and yours. Sorry if my head's in there, I can't see to pick it up. Just make sure you've got it inked up really well. I'm sorry it's probably out of the frame, but I want to ensure that I'm getting a good impression. There we go. You could always stamp a little bit more on the inside. I have done it where I put the truck just kind of in the corner, stamped off perhaps 2 times, or doing it in smoky slate just to reinforce the fact that the truck was there, but I think that one's good. So that is it, my crafty friends. I thank you for joining me this week, and if you just happened upon me, please consider hitting that subscribe button to catch a new video each and every week. And check me out. My website is stampedaf.ca. You can find everything that you need there. Link to my online store, my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. If you live in Canada and do not yet have a demonstrator, I would be thrilled to earn your business. And that's all. Thanks for stopping by, friends. Bye.